tend to have more fun. Ones and O's are playing pretend, they make you beg for your life. For someone else's, I think my heart's infected. How about yours? Don't think I'm on your side. I'm only on mine, I pick me every time.
Unclean, knife crime,
inactive,
it's very quiet,
dirty,
terrible,
boring,
messy, boring,
sketchy,
empty,
paranoid,
police,
nothing
dark,
to see,
grim,
pollution,
colourless,
sad and depressing,
empty,
everyone
no
hates each other,
variety, creepy,
terrible,
unfriendly,
dodgy,
miserable,
congested,
not enough
crowded,
communication,
polluted,
unhealthy.
inconsistent.
Basically
We
nothing.
need a closer community.
You could turn a corner in Wellingborough and there you are, someone's getting beaten up or bullied or robbed.
When it comes to night time, I'm always anxious about how I get home.
Really upsetting as well, because people shouldn't be able to worry about that.
It's just really sad to know that something horrible is happening and it's become normal to see it.
The amount of vandalism around Wellingborough could affect what young people would think.
People try and reflect the behaviour of people who maybe look powerful or the people who look like they can't be messed with, just to get that respect from them.
If this kind of behaviour happens a lot near them, they'll think that it's regular and it is a good thing that they should be doing.
Usually most of the stuff which happens nowadays is influenced because people have nothing to do. When we go out in a group, older people, they will just look at you in a funny way, like they think you're going to steal, or they'll follow you around. You can't be negative to someone and expect them to be positive. Trust is a really delicate thing. It's like walking on thin ice.
The Youth Forum was set up to provide a platform for Wellingborough young people's voices and to turn their ideas into positive social action, run by them to improve the lives of all young people in Wellingborough. There was quite a lot of negativity around town. We were seeing lots of poor mental health, and I was quite shocked actually by the low aspirations of a lot of the young people that I was meeting. But there has been a real spirit of change in Wellingborough lately, and we really wanted to harness that and put young people in charge of that change. We've worked with groups in Queensway, Victoria, Hemingwell, and also in the centre of town. Our first project was the Eastfield Park mural with artist Tony Nero. So we chose a particularly unloved underpass which had some really horrible but also really harmful graffiti on it. And so we put young people in charge of briefing Tony on what kind of work should be in that underpass, and now it is a bright, lovely place to be. Our second project was the We Are Here art exhibition in Swansgate Centre with artist Tamsin Payne. It was all inspired by what young people felt about journeys and places around Wellingborough. We also ran some creative workshops in Hemingwell where we came up with the concept of Fresh Fest. Fresh Fest was a young person festival for people of secondary school age from Wellingborough to come and find out what stuff is happening in Wellingborough already that they might be interested in, to tell us more about what else they would like, and also tell us about the barriers there were for participation in that kind of thing. Then our sessions at the Victoria Centre were all about young people actually designing Fresh Fest itself, designing the different spaces, designing how we marketed it to young people, and just generally making the day run smoothly.
I really wanted to join because it seemed like it was a good way of getting out of the house, and it can help with other people, and like helping other people. It's fun making friends as well and talk about it out of the youth group and also in the youth group. And I'm normally really quiet in school and out of school, so when I'm here I can just give up my ideas, and it's so nice.
It's good to finally be able to have things that we can control and change the things that we find that aren't interesting.
It builds up my confidence and it helps me with the way I think. Like hearing other people's ideas about things, it helps me see other people's point of views.
The longer I've been part of this group, I start to see something different, that it's probably got better.
I feel safe in here as well, like maybe make friends and have a laugh. I feel listened to, and I feel like I'm actually put out there and not just hid away. It's made me feel really good about myself.
Instead of being attacked all the time and not having power, they can show off their power, not in a negative way, but in a positive way.
So since we started in 2022, we've engaged with over 180 Wellingborough young people. We've completed well over 700 hours of youth volunteering, and it's created 15 young leaders who have instigated social action. We've run 33 youth forum sessions, as well as creative and skill building workshops, and delivered 20 days of social action across 5 projects.
Ideal Wellingborough is just a place where everyone understands each other. No one has negative opinions about each other and they don't expect you to do things. They don't expect you to act this way, and they don't make you feel like that's the only thing you can live up to. It's like a community which, no matter like how old you are or how young you are, the way you act or the way other people see you, it's like one big community coming together where they share their differences.
Hopefully, more people should be able to feel safe in town and not always feel like hiding away, or they should be able to look in our direction, not just down on us. Maybe for them to finally listen to us and not just listen to us and just forget about it, but we want them to listen to us and think about it. We obviously care about Wellingborough, we want it to change.
It's made me feel like I'm important, like I'm actually part of something bigger than just a tiny little group.
Because we can't change the world, but we can change some people's lives.
It doesn't matter like what you look like, it just matters like what you do.
We've done loads of workshops with artists over the year and a half that we've been running the Youth Forum. We've written music, we've done dance workshops, printing, origami, and this last one with map workshops, where young people were so impressed with Quinton's poem about being a youth mentor that they wanted to finish this film with a poem of their own.
I wrote this poem, it's called Field of Vision, and it answers why I'm a youth mentor. The meaning of life is to give life a meaning. I mean, life isn't easy, especially when you're tuned in to the wrong frequency. Quite frequently holding a brush that was dipped in delinquency. But that's exactly why I use every opportunity to tell a mentee that person was me. I wasn't part of a gang, but I fitted into the infantry. Back then it felt like they were the only people that needed me, and of course I was vulnerable. I know now that I was searching for my social identity, that there were higher risks just because I came from adversity. And I don't know about you, but personally, I call that relatability. And just because we're on the subject of mentorship, we won't sit and assume it's all about gang membership. But I know I form part of an approach that's multifaceted. At school, I was the clever kid, before getting distracted and running home from the bullies, shouting, "Get in the bus." Shh. I read somewhere that most perpetrators started out as a victim, and caught myself picturing my stepdad pushing mum in the kitchen. Suppose you can't help who you lived with. The best way to predict your future is to create it. But when the disadvantage is blatant, sometimes you have to go back to the basics. What I'm saying is, if nobody told you you can reach for the stars, then why would you even think to start building a spaceship? I'll tell a person I'm matched with, I'll be your biggest advocate, your ally, your counsellor. When life's looking rectangular, we can try angles and maybe try looking at adjusting the aperture so we can let more light in. I would say you're in the same predicament I was in, so that kind of means I can begin to empathise with them. Build some trust, a safe place to retreat to. I would ask them, were you hard to reach, or was it hard for them to reach you? I would say that I can see you, standing in the field of vision. Lift your gaze from your shoes so you can make some real decisions filled with optimism. I know you come from conflict, and sometimes you feel like throwing the towel in, but I'll be in your corner so you can put another round in. Why am I a youth mentor? Because I know what it feels like to be marginalised, and it was hard even at my age. So I turned towards an alternative and tapped into my potential to turn pain into purpose and mapped it out with a pencil. To show you that you can draw a path even when you've been misled. Walk on a path towards success. And when they tell you to stack those bricks, be the architect instead. You were far from being blessed with your set of circumstances. But your journey has just begun, and life is full of second chances. Why am I a youth mentor? To encourage hope and imagination, to build resilience and wonder, but most of all, to be the person I needed when I was younger.
The Youth Forum means everything to me. It helps me with my confidence and self-esteem, increasing my resilience and working as a team. I feel like they are part of a journey on the way towards a dream.
We are getting better at our communication, and we are helping to build each other's motivation. I look to my future with anticipation as a unified group of inspiration.
They cannot build a future for us, but they can build us up for our future. They are helping hand, they are guidance, they are mentors and tutors.
You planted the seeds of our character. That's why we are beginning to bloom, paving the way towards a new horizon, towards a place with unlimited views.
You poured from a cup of wisdom and knowledge to give us optimism and faith, prepared us for life, for school or for college, meeting our challenges face to face. I started here with potential. Now it's like I have superpowers. That's why I believe it was your destiny to help all of us find ours.
What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can.